Good day guys, this is Ken and welcome you back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but then we are here. So today we're talking about the third and the fourth attitude diseases that could wreck on your chances of doing well as a trader and as a person. You understand? So if this is your first time seeing me, do well to like, subscribe, and also check our previous post on Talk to You Today, to see where we are coming from. So let's dive in. Pessimism. Now, what is pessimism in trading? Pessimism in trading is when a trader tends to focus on the potential downside, they anticipate losses, and often make decisions based off fear and negative outlook. Let me rephrase that. When a trader focuses on the potential downside, they anticipate losses and make decisions based off fear and negative outlook. That is what? That is pessimism. But then this is like the dictionary definition. What is pessimism? Pessimism is like when a person don't tend to see any good in something. They hardly see good in something, no matter what it is. It will be very difficult for them to see, the good in that thing. It's a deadly disease of always looking on the problem side of something, the difficult side, the hard side, checking reasons why things can be done. That is pessimism. Do you understand? And it's very interesting to know that a poor pessimist leads an ugly life, which means that a pessimistic person lives what? An ugly life, because they don't try to find out what is right, they're only trying to find out what is wrong. They don't look for virtue, they look for faults. No matter how good you think the thing is, they always look for faults. Now let's take this trader for example. Now they have analysis, or maybe probably you send them an analysis. Instead of them to see potential of that analysis or that trade, they will give you like 99.9 reasons why that trade won't go in your favor. That is a pessimistic person. They hardly see good in anything, no matter how good the setup is. There's what they call is A1 or A plus setup. If you like, send them an A plus setup, A1 setup, it will be very hard for them to see good in that setup. They'll only see one or two errors. Do you understand? And this type of trader, they are the ones that hardly make it in trading. Trust me, they are the ones that hardly make it in trading, because they don't even get to take a trade, and when they get to take one, they hardly hold that trade for long. They find it very difficult for them to hold trade, because as the trade is running, they are seeing reasons why that trade won't go to that predicted point. As each candlestick is printing, it's giving them reasons why that trade will probably reverse and go against them, or go or not favor them. That's a pessimistic person. And these are the same type of people that will come out tomorrow that tell you that Forex is a gambling or Forex is a scam, because they don't tend to see good in anything. They hardly see good in anything. You understand? Because to the pessimistic person, the glass is always half empty, while to the optimistic person, the glass is half full. You understand? Let me rephrase that. To the pessimistic person, the glass is always half empty, while to the optimistic person, the glass is what? Half full. Now you ask yourself, why would the same measure of glass of water affect two people in two different ways? The answer is what? It all depends on how you look at it. If you look at it from a pessimistic perspective, it's always going to be half empty. You understand? And whenever they say something is half empty, meaning that it's not worth it, or it's not that good. But when you say half full, they'll know that okay, there's still a chance, there's still a possibility. You understand? So it all depends on how you look at the glass. If you look at it from the optimistic perspective, good for you. But if you look at it from the other perspective, it's your own choice. So you have to look in in yourself and see if you are a pessimistic person or an optimistic person, and you have to work on it. If you are a pessimistic person, you have to try to work on it, because it's a very deadly disease. It's second to the most deadly attitude disease that could crumple your chances of doing well in trading and outside of trading. Do you understand? And you have to understand that the major part of our life is being affected by the way we think things are, not the way things actually are, but the way we think that things are. That's why I always tell you guys, the mind is a very powerful place. And for it to be any kind of winner, you have to first of all win here. Because it's only when you have win up here, you can be able to win outside in trading and all the other things that you do. So reach down within yourself. Ask yourself, am I a pessimistic person? If you are, you work on it. You understand? So, and the next one is doubt. You understand? What is doubt in trading? Doubt in trading is the presence of uncertainty and lack of trust in oneself, strategy and decision. Let's rewind that. Doubt in trading is the presence of uncertainty and lack of trust in one's self, strategy and decision. When you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your strategy, you don't trust your decisions. That is doubt. And trust me, this one, like almost everybody is a victim of it. Because of the uncertainty of the market, you tend to doubt everything. But for you to be any kind of winner, you have to first of all believe in yourself. I've said that time without number. For you to be a winner, for you to make it to the profitability state of trading, you have to first of all believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. You have to trust your potentials. You understand? Now imagine, doubting yourself, what damage that would do to your career in trading and outside of trading. Imagine doubting yourself, you not believing in yourself. You're looking for someone to believe in. There are a lot of things to doubt out there, but one of the worst to doubt is what you doubt in yourself. Trust me. That is one of the worst things. You can doubt every other thing around you. You understand? But one of the worst things you can doubt is what you doubt in yourself. When you doubt yourself, you fail as a person. You failed yourself. For you to doubt yourself, it's fine, let other people doubt you. But when you doubt yourself, that is the final boss of, that is the end. Do you understand? Now, there are a lot of things that constitute to doubt in trading, but then I've listed few here. So let's look into them. One of them here is what? Lack of data and testing. When I mean lack of data and testing, I mean you not having to back test enough. Because for you to build that concrete and solid foundation of trust, of one self-trust, like you trusting yourself, you have to have back tested a lot. You have to back test for test, define and redefine your strategy, make it part of you. That's the only way you can build a solid foundation of self-trust and strategy trust. For you to be able to trust yourself, trust your strategy and trust your system, you have to back test and work on it. You understand? So backtesting is just like the pillar of self-trust in trading. You backtesting on your strategy, working on your strategy, defining, modifying, adjusting. That's the pillar to self-trust in trading. And the next one on my list is what? Information overload. I'll say that many times, that knowledge is a curse. Knowing too much is a curse. Information overload. You understand? You are exposed to so many, nowadays when we are exposed to so many, courses out there on YouTube. So we now take that advantage and learn multiple, so many strategies and so many things. Now you overloaded yourself with multiple information. And when it becomes knowing too much is not a problem. When it becomes a problem is when those opinions are conflicting. Do you understand? Let's say for example now, you know how to do SMC, trend line, support and resistance. Now whenever you want to analyze charts, you try to put those components that into the chart. And when they are conflicting, when they are not aligned, it becomes a problem, because it leads to doubt and what? Indecision. You'll be unable to decide. You understand? So focus on one thing. You understand? Don't try to build a system. Find out what works and work it that way. Find out what works and work it that way. You understand? The next one is what? Identity misalignments. Identity misalignments. Let's say for example now, you say to yourself, you come to those of you that used to wake up in the midnight and look at yourself in the mirror, especially after plenty losses. You say to yourself, yeah, I know I can do this, I know I can do this, but deep down in you, you've always believed that you are this kind of trader that doesn't follow rules. Believe that I'm this kind of person. Some people even say it out loud. Me, I just be this type of person. Those kind of things. I'm not sure say I'm the person where they follow rule. In fact, me I know they follow rule in the blood. Stuff like that. You believe you are this type of person that doesn't follow rules deep down. But outside of you, you are willing to, but deep down inside of you, you believe that you're not that type of person. So identity misalignment can also lead to what? Doubt. Next one is what? Fear of losses. When you're afraid of losses. Most of you are still stuck where you are today because you're afraid of taking an L. And you have forgotten that after L is what? M. There's one article that I read one time like that says the best winners are also the best losers. I think that is how they put it. The best winner are the best losers in trading. So for you to be any kind of winner, you have to what? You have to lose first. You have to make mistake. You have to what? Make mistake, learn from it, take corrections. Do you understand? I've said it many times, you know. It's the way that you interpret your loss that matters. Because everybody take loss in trading. Trading is a game of win and it's a game of lose. Do you understand? They are inevitable. Loss are inevitable in trading. Do you understand? But the interpretation that I give to it that matters. If you see it as a loss instead of a lesson, that's when it becomes a problem. Do you understand? And the next one is what we're talking about is how to manage doubts. Doubt management. Managing of doubts. How you can handle your doubts. And the first one is what is by building confidence or build confidence. Do you understand? And how can you build confidence? You can only build confidence in trading through back testing. That's the only way you can build confidence in yourself and in your strategy, in your system. It's through back testing and what? Consistency. You have to show up every day. You back test, you forward test, you push yourself through that workspace, because that is the only way you can build confidence in yourself. You understand? And next one is what? Simplifying your system. You have to keep things simple. You understand? Most of our big mentors always say this: keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate your charts. You understand? In trading itself, like Mark Douglas once said, you don't necessarily need that much knowledge to make it as a trader. All you need is what? A winning attitude to make it. So I know this out there can come on the chart and put on a winning trade. So you don't necessarily need that much of knowledge to be profitable as a trader. You understand? So try to keep it simple. You understand? Just try your best to keep it what? As simple as anything. The next one is what? Journaling. You're tracking your trades, keeping track of your trade, your improvement, your development, how you've been going. You understand? Journaling is as important as anything in trading, to keep track, know where you're coming from, know how far you've gone. You understand? So journaling is very, very important, especially in trading. The next one is what? Start small. You have to start small. You have to start by, first of all, like they say, life is what? Stages and process. Everything is what? Preparation. So you have to start small. When we all begin, we start with a demo account. Gradually you grow into trading a Propfirm. From a Propfirm you can now go into trading live account. But most importantly are those stages. Life is all stages. That's why when you take a baby to school, you have to start from pre-nursery, from that nursery stage to primary, from primary to secondary. They just can't jump from primary to university straight. Life is all stages. You start little, you pile up. You understand? And the next one is what? Find balance. Most people jump into trading all for the money's sake. But your goal, if you want to be profitable in trading, and you want to last long in trading, is what? To find balance. When I mean find balance, I mean aim for confidence. Do you understand? With a little bit of what? Humility. Aim for confidence with a little bit touch of humility. When you start winning, don't feel you're on top of the world. I know what that is what winning looks like. You understand? But then try to to be humble, because all of us are students of the markets. We are what? Students of inevitability. We are students of what? Inevitables. You understand? So try to humble yourself, aim for confidence, aim for balance instead of the profit, because it's only when you find balance then you can be able to accumulate. You understand? So, and that is it for this teaching. If you find any value in this video, do wait to like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section. We do this every Thursday. You understand? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.